I decided rather than having a garden, I wanted to farm eggs. So this is my garden. You open this and here's our nest. And we can see there's chickens on there already. Look, Beulah. Let me see. Oh, yep, Beulah's got one under her. So we get about 4.5 to 5 dozen eggs every week from these 10 girls. These type of pastured forage eggs can contain as much as 1/3 less cholesterol, 1/4 less saturated fat, 2 times more omega-3 fatty acids, 3 times more vitamin E, and 7 times more beta-carotene. The healthier the chicken, the healthier the eggs. There's another study done in England showed that 23% of farms with the caged hens, the big farms, tested positive for salmonella. They compared that to these little organic and free-range flocks. Organics were 4.4% and the free-range were 6.5%. This is my design. I built this myself with as much salvage material as I could get my hands on, and I subsidized it with a few other new things. It's big enough to handle about 12 hens. Anything over 95 degrees can kill chickens. So it's raised up off the ground. That way we get a lot of airflow and shade. The coop itself is tall and the top's open to allow ventilation on top. Hot air rises and I've got it to vent out that way, so it keeps it cooler in there. There's a rain barrel attached to this. Partly because I didn't want the chlorine and fluorides and everything else in their water, and I didn't want to have to pay for the water. The 1 inch of rain on this roof right here, I can collect about 30 gallons of water. I don't have a rooster. That's the big problem in the city. There are noise ordinances, and roosters are noisy. So the best thing, if you're going to do an urban flock, do not have a rooster. Either get an incubator, get the eggs, or do like I do, get the day-old from a hatchery. A couple of days they're here, set them up with a brooder, and raise them yourself that way. They're also more tame when you raise them that way, and they don't peck on each other as much when you get them young that way, because they grow up knowing who's in charge. The flock I created here, they were already 5 to 6 months old when I got them, so you'll notice some damage on some of them right over their tails, and that's just pecking order. That's their favorite place, part of their free range. The things that are gonna go bad at the market are thrown into our compost piles, along with other things that people bring. So there's a lot of vegetables. They love tomatoes, they love cucumbers. That's all in here. There's also a lot of bugs and stuff, so they can scratch, and that's where they get their protein. So they don't live strictly off the pellets. The kids come through that front gate, and the first thing you want to do is go see the chickens. A lot of them are regulars. They know the chickens' names.
It's the best part of the day right there.
They don't understand that that's the same thing they're getting at the grocery store, but better. It kind of blows them away, but as it clicks, it's just cool to see and to be a part of that. To get them to the same size, that fire size, 4.5 pounds, you're looking at 7 to 8 weeks. 3 hens, you're gonna get 1.5 dozen eggs a week. Most families don't buy more than 1.5 eggs a week, and they're getting a much more nutritious product out of it. I'm hoping to have a little presentation, because there are a lot of people here with flocks that want to learn. How do you properly slaughter and butcher a chicken? How do you get this meat into your freezer, rather than having to go to the grocery store? If everybody thinks of wringing the necks and the body flopping around, well, that's not how you do it, but there are more humane ways, and you use the different parts in your compost, and same thing, they go back into the full circle, back into the gardens give us the vegetables that they eat, and it just keeps going around.
All right, John, you mind telling me about your chickens?
What do you want to know about my chickens?